Thank you all so much for the opportunity to be here. We are very excited to talk with you today about our project. Lizette and I have been working on the Texas Instruments Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics Leadership Academy for about a year now, and with your help, we are ready to launch in the next couple of months. We have a lot of information to get through this afternoon, and would really appreciate if we could hold all questions until the end of the presentation.
So last year at the U.S. News STEM conference, Dr. Daryl Albertson, the VP of Human Resources at Cubic Corporation, had the following to say that both Ashley and I fully support.
When you ask about what the biggest barrier is in STEM advancement, it really boils down to two things. One is curriculum. So we really don't have the proper math and science courses in many of our schools. In many cases, they're not required. And a lot of other cases, they're not really engaging for kids. The other piece is partnerships. So government is involved, business is involved, working together seamlessly to make sure that all the parts are in place, that we have good internships, mentoring, and other forms of support.
So 25 years ago, students in the United States were among the most proficient in math and science curriculum. Today, high school students in the US are far behind a large portion of the rest of the world. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development ranks the United States 25th in math and 22nd in science out of 34 countries. These rankings put the United States in the bottom 30% compared to 33 nations around the world. In order to combat these low rankings, it's in the best interest of our society to go ahead and invest in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, or STEM, education of our youth. As Dr. Albertson said, we need to prepare our teachers to deliver a curriculum that is both engaging and stimulating. As we discovered that 40% of DISD district schools, 227 schools, are not meeting the minimum requirements for academic performance. The Texas Instruments Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics Leadership Academy will tackle this social cause by providing a way for teachers to develop their instructional methods to improve STEM comprehension in students of DISD. These statistics hit really close to home, as Dallas is where we all work, live, and play.
As we continue to dive into this academic crisis, we were appalled to discover that only about 1/3 of students were able to meet the post-secondary readiness scores, shown by this green section here. In DISD, only 27% of students met the state standards for post-secondary readiness in mathematics, and only 31% in science. And in our opinion, this is a completely unacceptable reality. It's in our best interest to tackle this issue head-on, and failing to address this issue will result in our students not getting the proper education needed, and that will make them not get the competitive jobs in this global marketplace. Continuing to address this issue, continuing to not pay attention to this issue will result in the overall socioeconomic status of Dallas to continue to decline.
In our changing marketplace, while outsourcing and globalization of our economy is here to stay, the job growth we do have is heavily related to STEM fields. In 2000 to 2010, there was a 7.9% increase in STEM-related jobs in comparison to a fairly stagnant 2.6% growth in other fields. This lopsided growth was projected to continue from 2008 through 2018. While this period of time is post-recession and we experienced more growth, STEM fields continue to outgrow all other jobs. Since we know that this is where the jobs are going to be, it's of the utmost importance for us to prepare our students to meet this future demand.
Therefore, we've directed our strategy on focusing on improving the skill set and tactics of the DISD teachers, specifically Kennedy Curry Middle School, which I will go into why we chose this particular school in just a moment. We decided that instead of funneling money into physical resources and fundamental curriculum materials, we're going to invest on the most valuable resource that schools have, the teachers themselves. We believe that a partnership between Texas Instruments and the Dallas Chamber of Commerce will be invaluable in the launch of the Texas Instruments Science, Technology, Education, Mathematics Leadership Academy. This academy will provide the opportunity for teachers to gain certifications specific to STEM curriculum, instructional strategy, classroom innovation techniques, as well as classroom management itself. By offering the STEM opportunity to teachers, we are directly impacting the improvement of the quality of the teachers at Kennedy Curry Middle School, which will overall raise the level of competence in our schools. And they will also give the necessary skills and confidence needed to make an impact at the students in these inner city schools. Now, the state of Texas ranks schools on 4 different indexes: student achievement, student progress, closing performance gaps, and post-secondary readiness. As you can tell by the green arrows here, Kennedy Curry Middle School just met or barely exceeded expectations. The most influential factors in our decision were the middle 2, the student progress and the closing performance gaps. These 2 indicators proved that all of the students, teachers, and the school's leadership were dedicated to improving the quality of education in their school. And through the implementation of TSTEMLA, these indexes are projected to continue to increase.
To enable these changes, we've selected courses from 2 separate programs in order to achieve a well-rounded instruction, to receive the well-rounded instruction we desired. The Endeavor STEM teaching program is a standalone certification. It's backed by NASA. In order to complete this certification, teachers have to complete 3 courses out of a selection of 10 or so. We felt that these 3 were best suited for TSTEMLA's goals. Learner's Edge is the second portion of our curriculum. These courses were selected from, they have a wide variety of continuing education courses for all teaching professionals. While Endeavor is focused completely on STEM, these courses are related to classroom management and innovative curriculum development. More information about each of these courses can be found in your packets. So this is our timeline for TSTEMLA, the TSTEMLA participants. Each teacher is going to complete 7 courses between a 6 to 9 month period. We're hopeful that all 10 teachers will be able to complete the program within 8 months. With this graduation date in mind and kicking off in January, they'll be able to implement the skills they learned through TSTEMLA at the start of the 2017 to 2018 school year.
Now for the fun part. The TSTEMLA program will be mainly funded by our Tuxedos to Teachers Gala, which right now we're currently in the middle of our projected timeline. We've got the gala planned, booked, and as previously mentioned, the teachers and students have already been selected. And we are very excited to announce that the Tuxedos to Teachers Gala will be held on Saturday, December 3rd at the Hilton Dallas Lincoln Center Ballroom. So please mark your calendars because we look forward to having you in attendance. And with your support, we'll be able to put 10 teachers through this program. So we've identified the problem and we've determined our solution. But how can we tell that this project actually worked? How do we prove this? We will quantify the success of TSTEMLA by tracking the standardized test scores of the students in the classrooms of our graduates. At the start of the 2017 to 2018 school year, parents will be asked to sign a student waiver release form, which will give us the scores of the previous 2016 to 17 year, as well as the 2017 to 18 school year. In addition to the student progress, we're also going to be looking at teacher improvement. Now, we will get the scores from the teachers from the 2016 to 17 school year prior to course enrollment and compare them to 17 to 18 school years after course completion. Now, students are expected to have a 5% increase in their overall test scores, and teachers were hoping for an 8 to 10% increase.
By improvements in post-secondary readiness and standardized testing scores, TSTEMLA will have directly impacted the quality of education in these selected classrooms. As a result, students moving on to the next grade are going to be better prepared to take on those challenges. In addition to measuring the year-over-year test scores, TSTEMLA requires full participation in our 360-degree evaluation program. The information gathered in these evaluations is going to be indicative of the success of the program. It's going to provide feedback on what worked and what didn't work. Adaptations to the program can be made if we're able to expand or continue the program in future years.
So of our 360-degree evaluation, there's 3 parts, and the first part is subdivided into 3 categories. In the teacher self-evaluation, at pre-liftoff stage, we're going to have a questionnaire. We want to see what each teacher hopes to gain from the course itself, and we want to also create a baseline on current innovative techniques and things that they might be able to learn. About 4 months into the course, we're going to have a mid-program evaluation, which will gauge their progress in the actual program itself. We want to know things like, do they like the classes that they're taking? Are they having a good time? Have they learned anything so far? Have they implemented anything? And finally, in the post-graduation evaluations, these will be the most important. Here, all the teachers have already been exposed to all of the skills that they've learned in the 7 courses that they've taken. Here, we'll be able to determine what works best if we do decide to move on to the next years and tackle different schools. In the second and third part of our evaluation, we'll be looking at it in an outside perspective. Students will be asked whether or not they found the classrooms engaging and if they realize that they like math more, maybe. Principals will be asked to see if they notice an improvement in the teachers themselves, and we will ask to see whether or not they would support us having this program in a neighboring school.
For our initial launch, we're going to be able to accomplish this goal between the efforts of just the two of us. As the Director of Talent Acquisition, Lizette was responsible for identifying the school and convincing the teachers to go ahead and join us. As Director of Training and Development, I was responsible for the oversight and the picking of the curriculum, development of our teachers, in addition, managing and assessing the evaluations throughout the term. Both of us are responsible for administrative duties, such as coordinating the dates at the regional chamber for our teachers to complete their evaluations and also meet to kind of discuss their courses and see if they can help each other. And for our favorite part, throwing and coordinating the gala, and inevitably hitting upstanding citizens like you up for money. The TSTEMLA Tuxedos to Teachers Gala will raise a total of $61,000. We have 3 platinum level sponsorships available. I have 2 locked in and another 2 on the hook. We've filled 6 bronze sponsorship levels. All of the companies that I've approached have been very receptive and supportive of the project so far. While some have not made sponsorship donations, they have agreed instead to purchase tickets or donate items to our silent auction. The gala will net a profit of $38,500. We were even able to save a little bit of money by offering jeans for 2 weeks in exchange for DJ services to one of the guys in engineering.
Which, by the way, we heard he's actually very good on the weekends, so we're pretty excited about that.
TI itself has guaranteed a contribution of $21,725. This contribution will be spent wholly on the TSTEMLA courses for our teachers. The 2017 TSTEMLA program is $7,195 per teacher. To put 10 teachers through, it's going to be $71,950. As we've mentioned, the teachers are going to earn meaningful certifications related to STEM and classroom leadership. After all of this, it leaves a deficit of $11,725 to be raised. The Chamber of Commerce would be investing in improving the City of Dallas's teachers and have a direct impact on the quality of the future reports coming out of Dallas. By addressing the issue now, we will provide students with the education required to compete in the global job market. Through the success of From Tuxedos to Teachers, donations from TI and the Dallas Chamber, TSTEMLA's inaugural class will kick off in January. Texas Instruments has made a habit of contributing in Dallas, the United States, and abroad. The goals of TSTEMLA directly align with Texas Instruments' commitment to improving human capital. Together, we will change the world one classroom at a time.
So we are asking for a contribution of $11,725, space in one of your conference rooms for teachers to perform their evaluations and get together to work on curriculum or course materials, and have bi-weekly meetings. The good news is most of the funds for this project is raised by the private sector. And by completing the TSTEMLA program, the teachers at Kennedy Curry Middle School will be better prepared to teach their STEM-based subjects and deliver innovative curriculums in their classrooms. The Dallas Chamber of Commerce has the opportunity to impact the lives of the students in DISD and overall raising the socioeconomic status of Dallas itself. With TSTEMLA, the quality of our future workforce will be more educated and better prepared to address the challenges ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, can we answer any questions for you today?
Not so much a question, but I'd love to learn more, if you could expand more of why STEM in particular is important to TI as a company.
TI, as an engineering firm, most of our profit is through development and engineering. In Dallas, we are not able to find the candidates that we need. We're having to recruit from outside of this area and move them here to be able to achieve our goals as a company. And in order to better Dallas as a whole, and it's cheaper for us, honestly, to not have to recruit from so far away.
Any other questions?
Yes.
How many teachers do you think will run through your program?
For our inaugural class, we have 10 teachers. Those are all of the math and science teachers at Kennedy Curry Middle School. So hopefully, if we go to the next school, it'll be all of the teachers of that school.
For the budget for the gala, are you expecting to raise that much money, or are the expenses, or is that pretty much set at this point?
The gala is going to cost $38,500. We've gotten numbers from, we have our invoice from the Hilton, and all the food and everything is included with that. We have our sponsorship levels, so that is part of it. We've got ticket sales, and we have silent auction items. All of those will be, contributed.
So if we sold all of our tickets, we've already took the expenses for throwing the gala itself. Plus, we're saving money from Jake in engineering doing the free DJ services. All right, well, thank you guys.